and practicing self-care every single day because that's what we really should be doing. There's a book that I was reading called The Anxiety Cure by Arthur Hart, and basically he was just saying, that back in the day, did we have all these diseases and issues? We had horses, and you had to write letters, and you had to take your time, So everything was just slow paced, and you didn't see all this worry and anxiety. But right now, it's all in the media. It's on the news. It's on your phone. You got a notification with just the news. I took it off. Like I took off the Facebook, the Instagram, the news because you can get bombarded. Yes, and if you ever find yourself like you're supposed to be sitting here reading the word, or in the Bible app, and then you go on Facebook, oh, why am I in this app? So, it's really important to figure out what that means for you. Like I said, finding that happy place. But anything that's going to restore you, that's what we want to focus on. That's what self-care is, restorative practices. So that's what I like to say that self-care is. And like we were saying before, self-care is, there's a lot of myths about self-care. It's a $10 billion industry, and when I say that, I mean that, on social media, they're posting spa days, they're posting retreats, and while all those things are good, they're not restoring you on a daily basis. It's good to go away for a weekend and have fun, but what are we going to do every single day that's going to say, okay, I want to make sure that every day, Tisha, I have 5 girls. They always want something. So what can I do? Do I need to get up early in the morning? Do I need to, take some time at night? Do I need to tell my hubby, like, look, because we're going to talk about that too, those boundaries, right? Yeah. Letting them know, hey, like, I need this time, because I don't know who's also been, like, sick a lot because they're going, and not stopping. Yeah. So that happens a lot. And why do you guys think it's so hard to take care of ourselves? Why is that so hard?
I think we're afraid to stop.
Yeah. Like,
because what would I do if I stopped?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, even me, like I try to take my Saturdays and do nothing, or just do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I hate when my Saturdays get taken up by other stuff. Yeah. That requires other people. Are like, let's do this. I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, oh, you're home, but no, I'm tired.
Yeah. So you need to.
I'm busy during the week, and it's like Saturdays literally is my only day. Yeah. That I have, because once Sunday get here, I'm back working again. I work at church. Yeah. Yes, it's time to praise and worship, but I actually work.
Right, exactly.
And so Saturday is my only day that I don't have to technically work.
Right. Yeah. And don't y'all love it, like Saturday morning, so we can like get up and cook, and there's nothing on the schedule.
Nothing. Yes. Which don't happen.
Nothing. But this is what I do, y'all. I literally take my phone and say, do not plan nothing. Do not plan anything, because it's easy. Like, it's easy because Fridays, I decided to make that my day off. But I would fill it with, like, meetings, talking to this person. And then by the time I'm done, I'm like, I didn't get no time for myself. Yeah. So, that's what I do. Sometimes I put, do not plan anything, so that, I know that day is my day. If I don't take that day, I will be sick, soon. So just, you have to do what you have to do to make sure that you're taking that time. And nobody can advocate for your time like you can. You are a lawyer for your own time. You really are. And I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because God said it's important. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, he said, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. So it's very important for us to remember that we are vessels, and how can we be used if we're tired? Like if you're trying to minister to someone, they're like, can you pray for me? And you're just like, I don't want to pray today.
And I really like that too.
Because you're irritable. You haven't rested. You haven't rested your mind. How can you ghostwrite anything when right. Because that mind is something. You have to have a clear mind. Am I right? Like when you're writing and trying to get the words out, you're trying to think and be creative and think about how this could unfold, like you have to rest. And so God said it's important for us to rest and make sure that we are refilling ourselves with, just rest. Yes.
think another thing, like, as a culture, we were taught that taking a nap, laying around is lazy.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think just retraining your brain to know the difference between resting and being lazy
Right.
has been, that's a trial too.
Yeah.
Because like, I remember we had to get up, we either were up all night Friday cleaning.
Right.
We got up super early
Saturday.
Saturday,
Yep.
The curtains came open.
Yeah.
Pine Sol, we knew what was going on.
That's right. That's right.
And you better
Yeah.
not lay yourself back across that.
Right. You better be up at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
So I think just the correlation between knowing the difference between being lazy and resting, because I think it's a stigmatism that we all have that.
Right, yeah, because we were taught that you better get up and you better be doing something, you lazy, and, just talking and just that whole cultural thing,
If you had an older person or grandma,
Oh, yeah, you're not sitting down at all. You're gonna be running to get this, running to get that, and so we have to, like I said, learn all of that stuff and retrain ourselves and know that it's okay to sit down. It's okay to take care of ourselves. And like I said, this is a process, so we can't beat ourselves up over, not getting it right away. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Like, how can we take every day and practice self-care? So that's what I want to make sure that y'all know before y'all leave. And so what does no self-care look like? It looks like weakened immune system, like I said, getting sick. It actually has a negative impact on your heart health. So what that means is, if you're only getting like 5 or less hours of sleep, that impacts your heart. And so that means high blood pressure, that means heart issues. And so your body, when we're sleeping, our bodies are able to restore themselves. All the cells in our bodies are rejuvenating, and everything is just taking a break and rejuvenating. But when we don't sleep, it's on autopilot, and it's like we just working off fumes, and we just gonna keep going. And then your body just begins to say, you know what, I had enough of you trying to run around and do all this stuff. We're gonna sit down today, okay? Because you're gonna just go ahead and get sick, and then you're gonna have to sit down. So that's what normally happens to us. Brain fog, have you ever had that where you can't remember nothing, you can't think straight, you just like I just right, like I don't forgot my keys again. I done went all the way to the store without the card. Like you was sitting down, paying bills, and next thing you know, you all the way at the store and your card is at the house. So brain fog, and your skin suffers. It really does, because you're not able to like I said, rejuvenate and restore those cells in your body. So nothing is getting oxygen. Your brain not getting oxygen, your skin, everything is beginning to break down. It even causes weight gain when we don't sleep. I don't know if you guys knew that, but just not being able to restore, it does cause weight gain. And like I said, the body is unable to repair itself. And so sleep is important. How much sleep would y'all say that you get with all of the activities that we have going on from what you guys told me?
I'm a napper.
Naps.
So,
that's good.
I'll literally come home and take a nap.
Yeah.
When I get off of work.
Right. That's good. That's a good self-care practice.
So I'll take probably about a good 2-hour nap.
Okay.
And then I can literally go back to sleep.
You can really go. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
I'm not a nap person, but I can say I hit at least 7-8 hours. I do get.
You have to. All those girls. And,
which they all don't live with us. I mean, they're older and stuff like that.
That's good.
But yeah, I get 7-8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's good. That's why the skin is perfect. Both of y'all glow. So, yes, it's very important to figure out how we can get our rest. And to your point, like taking a nap, even a 15, some people cannot do this, I will say, but sometimes a 15-minute nap will help you and rejuvenate you to be more alert. I know sometimes if in between clients, I will literally put my head down on the desk and like just take a little nap. So you have to do what works for you. And just a little health information. Just these emotions, if we don't handle them, they do cause issues. So anger weakens the liver. Then you have grief that weakens the lungs. Miss V back there, you probably are going through this now a little bit, but grief does weaken the lungs. When you lose someone, you feel like all that is intense, like you cannot breathe. It's just hard to keep going. But grief weakens the lungs. Worrying weakens the stomach. That's why, people that have anxiety, they have a lot of stomach issues or IBS because they are always worrying about what's going to happen. Stress weakens the heart and the brain. So stress is like basically all of that. Weaken the heart and the brain, so it's hard to think and function. And then fear weakens the kidney. So that's just a little health, information. Yeah. So it's just like if we don't take care of ourselves, it always falls on our bodies, and you can see it with like people that are ill. The more stress they have, the worse they get. I mean, even like with people that are having babies and things like that, the baby comes or has complications from the mother stressing out and stuff like that. So it's just all goes together. What do y'all think about that? No, some of y'all recording it. Yeah.
I can say I went through that a couple months ago, and I was having other health issues. One of my triggers was stress because I was stressed out over what I was going through.
Gotcha.
And so once I kind of started learning how to de-stress,
right,
it got better. It didn't completely go away, but it got better.
Yeah.
I was having migraine headaches real bad every single day.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's like
day.
Our bodies signal itself to say like you need to deal with this. Like your head's gonna
And I also know my body's about to shut down.
Yeah.
I can feel it coming on, so I'm like, I have to take a day off from work.
Right.
Because if I don't, y'all ain't about to like me.
It's irritable and snappy.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I just want you guys to know that as we talk more about how to have self-care, it does not have to be perfect. It just has to work for you. Because I don't want you to get stressed out over the process. Oh, it's not perfect, or I don't have the right system going. So make sure that the system works for you. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just give yourself time and grace. Give yourself time to get this right. Like jot it down in your notebook. Think about what's working, what's not working. Systems. If you are, in the home and a lot of household, even if you're single and by yourself, like it takes a lot to run a household. Washing clothes, keeping the clothes washed, dishes, bills. Like women do a lot in the household. Like we really do. Like we hold it down. Like we keep the house together. We take that Saturday to clean the whole house, take our day off to clean the whole house. But really, it's important that we have systems. It's important that we, have the day to wash the laundry, have the day to, tidy the bathrooms, and figure out like what's gonna work for you. I had to start doing that because Fridays I would clean the whole house and I'd be like, oh, there go my day. It's gone, and try to wash clothes and fold them, and having a big family, it can happen,
And then I think we get irritable when we have to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's the day we want to just relax and stuff, but it's like if I don't get it done this day, here we go back, we're back at our work week, and then you start getting irritable, because it's like you have so much going on.
Yeah, you really do, and I think to ask for help. Now, as women, sometimes it's hard to ask for help. I'm not gonna lie, because you're like, why do you fold the clothes like that? It's kind of like not as tidy as you might like it, or. But I will say I have come a long way. I just like, you know what? I'm not doing it. So you're going to do it. That's okay. Yeah. That's the way you wash the dishes. Instead of worrying about it.
And roll it down instead of folding it.
And ball it up. Put in the closet. That's it. But you know what? You have to figure out and be okay with like how other people do things, and just be okay with it because they're getting it done.
Yeah, that's true. I've had to learn to do that.
Yeah, just let it go. You're like, okay, yep. So next time I'll fold it right. But it is important to ask for help, and I mean, I know our culture is really against this with like asking a service to come and help clean up, but sometimes you do need to deep clean. I will say some people really like to clean, and it's okay sometimes to ask them to come in and deep clean your house. Yeah, that's their gift. That's what they like. So get it out of our minds that it's like why am I hiring someone to come clean my house? But sometimes you really need someone to do that. You really do need the help. So if you need help, ask for help and be okay with that. Don't nobody have to know that you have somebody over there cleaning up. You know, you ain't got to tell them, you got somebody cleaning. No, you don't have to tell nobody. It's your business. Just let them help you, you know. So ask for help. And then just a few tips as we get into how to make our self-care plan. Know your limits. Like you said, you know when your body's about to shut down. So go ahead and start, you know, taking that day off. But we also don't want to get there. You know, we don't want to have the headaches and the stress and the pain in our bodies. So we want to figure out how do we just stop all that altogether. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Something that really, really helps is regular breaks. So if you have an opportunity at work to, and I will say, like, make an opportunity. You know, if they have a problem with that, then, you know, talk to your doctor and get them to write you a note saying that you need to take a break every 10 minutes or, I mean, not every 10 minutes, but, you know, you need maybe like 2 or 3 10-minute breaks so where you can walk outside, especially if you're on the phone with like,
paid 15-minute breaks.
Yeah, like with people that are,
get up, we have to take a break.
yeah, because you will break down in there, like, literally, yeah. So it's important to take breaks, go outside, take a walk, breathe in and out, put on your favorite song, do what you have to do. So would you guys say that you take breaks, like when you take your breaks, it's pretty good?
I need to do better. I'm already saying I need to do better with that.
Because sometimes you get immersed in the work, right?
Yeah. And like for lunch, for me, I literally have to leave the building.
Okay.
If I don't leave the building, somebody will come to my car and be like, "Hey, Arlette, we got to." What? No, I'm on lunch. Like I had this girl do that to me yesterday. I was walking out the building. She was like, "Hey," I said, "Nope."
Yes,
I'm on lunch, girl.
Thank you.
Send me an email. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to learn to leave the building, but I don't take regular breaks throughout the day. So that's something I have to work on.
Gotcha. And then people are always coming to you.
Yeah.
So they're like constantly.
They got nobody else to go to.
Yeah.
And I think it's what we do when we're on break. You know, don't
Yeah.
let that be the time when we jump on Facebook
Right.
and stuff like that. We just need to take those 15 minutes to just
breathe. Right, yes. Get your mind together.
And that's my thing. That's what I have to really work on. Make sure that we're utilizing that time with doing something that's gonna help us when we get back in there too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes it's to the point where I take off Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, I'm detoxing, you know. God is going to speak to me. I need some answers, Lord. So, you know, like, you have to take that time and just, you know, make sure you just do what works for you.
Right.
You know, like, whatever you have to do to recharge in that 15 minutes, if it's praying, if it's, you know, sometimes even talking to family members, you try to call them on your break, you're like, why did I call you?
Right.
Why did I call you?
Yeah.
So you just, you know, sometimes you just need that time alone to
And I feel
yourself.
like once you make it a habit,
Yeah.
you notice that your spirit desires it more.
Right, yes.
Like I have a specific day a week that I fast, and when that day is approaching, I'm excited because I know that that's that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like once you get in the habit of doing it, your spirit will say, okay, we need to do this more often.
Yeah, that is so true. That's really true. And do you notice that, like, it just feels like God is closer to you when you do that, you know, and you reach out and you're like, okay, I can actually hear you. Clear. Thank you. Right.
Chatterbox being gone.
Yeah, like our fasting days are the same,
Yeah.
unintentionally, and they just are. But I notice like when I am the difference between my fasting days. Some days I can hear God so clear, I'm like, okay, and other days it's like I ain't heard nothing.
Right.
But it's all because of what I'm taking to my spirit during my fasting time.
Gotcha. Wow. That's good. That's really good. I wrote it today, like, I'm just saying, why am I here, Lord? Okay, thank you, God. But Genesis 2:3 says, so God blessed the seventh day and made it holy because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. So even God took a break and he even rested. Now, you know, it is very difficult when you are in ministry and you are at church, because I've been there, you know, you getting up at like crack of dawn to pray and get ready for the day, and you got to be there a certain time, make sure everything is good. But like, would you say, can you kind of walk us through your time at church, and then do you get any time after church to like just take a break?
So, let me do it if I'm serving my pastor. I have to be there by 9:30. And then she'll get there probably and that's just to set up.
Okay.
Make sure her office is cool, everything, she has everything she needs. So that way, by the time she gets there at 10, everything is set for her to get there.
Okay.
So she may or may not have directions for me when she gets there, but between 10 and 12, I'm looking out for her. I'm watching the congregation. It's just a movement.
Right.
Then I also videotape and take pictures for her during service. Okay. So, I got that going on. But I do that every Sunday regardless.
Okay.
If I'm serving her or not.
Gotcha.
And then after church, I stand there with her maybe an hour after service so she can greet the people. Yeah. So maybe about 1:00, we're back in her office. She's single, so she uses that time with us to unwind. Okay, gotcha. So we may be there another hour or two.
Wow. Okay.
And then, we'll get in the parking lot, and we'll talk some more. So probably by 2:30, we may be leaving the church after I've been there since 9:30.
Okay, gotcha. So it's a whole day.
And that's not to include if she has to go preach somewhere, because my pastor's very busy preaching, and I go a lot of places with her. Okay.
Yes. So when you get home, are you napping, or would you say that? So phone shut down, everything.
You ain't gonna hear from her for several hours. You know, the Facebook says not active for 2 hours. I already know.
Yeah, she's done. She's done.
Yeah,
That's good,
so her departing words me, I'll talk to you after your nap.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so literally like once I'm out of church, and I normally go to the grocery store when I get out of church, so I'll do that, spend my time at the grocery store.
Right.
And then I'll go home. I may eat and I may not eat until after I wake up.
Yeah.
But I'm in about a 2 or 3 hour nap.
That's good. See, that's so good. Right, that's it. I mean, you're restoring yourself after that long day.
It's a long day.
It is a long
and then
day.
sometimes I may have to preside over service while I'm serving her. So I may be doing like triple duty that day.
Right. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. Well, you were resting, so I'm happy for you.
I'm gonna get my nap.
Yeah, you can get your nap. Yeah, you need to. Yeah.
Right.
So, anyone else take Sunday to cook and just chill? Nothing else? Or is it kind of like a day where you're like, girl, shop, get ready for the week? And that's okay too, but also, is there any time that you like nap? No. What is Sunday look like for you?
Never for me. Because Sunday is really like my husband's only day off. So after church, we try to hang out, we go get a bite to eat, and that's like our day.
Yeah.
And we'll hang out for a bit, and then we'll come home and just kind of just chill out. So I don't really do a lot of grocery shopping or cleaning or anything.
Yeah.
On Sundays.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And do you feel like that is restorative for you to be able to spend time with your husband? Gotcha.
Yeah.
And is it sometimes just you and him, or like the whole family?
It's normally just us.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's restorative. Like, yeah, it really is. So just, taking that time, spending time with people that refuel you is good.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially being only one day off. That's huge. So, excuse me. When we rest, we can do what God has called us to do, because we can hear from God, and we can actually really think and really do whatever God has called us to do. Like, I'm not sure as, mothers in here, if you, have been so tired where mothers are very alert, even, in ministry, you see people that are, struggling, and you can kind of feel what's going on with them. But have you ever been so tired where you didn't notice? Or you didn't listen to what God had to say because you were just so tired? You're like, I don't know if that's God.
How about I just didn't even care. Tired.
Yeah, you're just tired. So we can be vessels for God, and that's why it's important for us to really take care of ourselves, because this is just a vessel. We're just in these bodies as tools to help God. So and then another verse that says 1 Corinthians 3:16, we are again vessels, and that, you know, we're not our own, and that God's Spirit dwells in us. And sometimes we gotta, you know, continue to ask the Holy Spirit to dwell in us, you know, because sometimes it's like, okay, you're gonna do your own thing right there, and, you know, I'll come back when you're ready.
Yes.
So, it's important to know that when we rest, the Holy Spirit can speak to us and can dwell in us, because God gave us that tool, so it's important to use it. Girl plus God in the roll of gold. I love it. I love it.
Right.
So just remember that. Okay, so let's get into self-care practices, what we're gonna do. So when you do take self-care, who has had some self-care lately and has felt amazing from it? It's hard.
I have.
Okay.
You just kind of do what you want to do. I don't have days where I shop or clean. I kind of do whatever I feel needs to be done whenever I feel like doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Lately I've been more crafty.
Okay.
And I noticed that when I go out back and spray paint something or paint something else,
Right.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gotcha, and that's good.
Definitely.
That makes you feel, very creative. And with your kids, they're older, so they
Help.
kind of, help
get
and
it
do
right.
their own thing and not like,
Yeah.
have to be so hands-on with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. That's a beautiful thing too. Right, so, like I said, you're creative, your immune system is strengthened because those cells are reproducing and, you know, everything's getting oxygen, you've been able to relax, you're alert, your memory's great, you can remember stuff, and you can also handle difficult tasks. You know, when there's, conflicts at jobs, with families, and you're stressed out, you just like, I just can't. You know, and you just have that I just can't attitude, and you're just like, I just can't take anything else. And you really have to rest and to know that the power of God resides in you to handle difficult tasks, but we have to rest first. We have to get those downloads of what we need to do for those conflicts, right? So that's what happens when you have self-care. That's beautiful right there. That's just beautiful. But, and not to mention our skin is glowing because we're, taking care of ourselves. So there are 3 parts to self-care. There's, of course, the mind, body, and soul. I like to say spiritual, mental, and physical. So spiritual, of course, that is connecting with God. That is connecting with nature, because God created, nature. And I feel like He created it for us to observe it and for us to, take deep breaths and enjoy the air and see the flowers and, just really look at what He has created. So it's important to connect with God. And of course, in Matthew 6:33, but seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be given unto you. So if we are able to connect with God, we're able to get direction, we're able to rest in Him, then everything, lines up and begins to work out. And He tells you, like, take a nap. Sit down. You don't need to handle that. Ask for help. So it's really important first to have your spirit poured into. And what for you guys is restorative as far as, spiritual? Would it be like, sometimes we have that one sermon that we listen to and we're like, that's it right there. That's what I need to hear. Or, praying with a friend. What's some ideas of things that you can do to restore your spirit?
I go back and read notes, like service, I take notes, Bible study, I take notes. So I'll go back and read that, and that just kind of sparks.
Gotcha. Helps you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's restorative for me, spiritually.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
One of my favorite things to do is go to Books A Million.
Yeah.
It's like my spot. And I just go specifically to the spiritual section and just walk the aisle.
Wow.
And you would be surprised at how God speaks.
Wow.
It could be a coffee mug. It
Yeah.
could be a t-shirt. And I'll just sit there.
That's
sometimes
good.
just flipping and opening a page of a book.
Yeah.
And He'll speak that way. And it's
Wow.
free.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I can go to Books A Million and that's just my spot. They have couches there.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Comfortable. Yeah. That's good. I like that. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that out. Yeah.
I was gonna say one thing that I do like to do, I don't do it as often as I need to, because
Yeah.
when I do, it makes me feel so good. It restores. for me, is listening to Sarah J. Roberts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love her. I love going on looking at her videos.
Yeah.
I listened to one the other day, and it was just like perfect for that day.
Right.
I was feeling was like, Lord, thank you for leading me to this particular video. It's like, I needed that, and so that's something that I enjoy doing.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so videos and getting poured into. So important to take care of our spirits first, because that houses, everything about us. And I just think that putting God first just helps with everything else. Yeah. Or talking to your pastor or whoever, spiritual counsel that you talk to is important too. And then your mental. Yes, your mental. Yes. It is so important for the mental. And when I just put meditation, because, we're bombarded with thoughts. We have about 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And for most of us, those are negative thoughts. And those are thoughts that, I'm not going to do this. I ain't going to get this done. So just talk the self-doubt and talking to ourselves. And so it's very important to begin watching for that. And the way that you can watch for that is through meditation. And meditation doesn't have to be, all like, I don't know what I'm doing. Technology is crazy. Like, there's nothing you cannot do, not without God, what I'm saying? God first. But I'm just saying, everything is at our fingertips. Everything is available to us. There's no reason why we can't figure out what is going to work as far as meditation. And it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be, 20 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. And I know right now, like, I'm just doing guided meditation. So I'll go on YouTube and say, anxiety releasing meditation, let it go meditation, prayerful meditation, grace meditation. I mean, there's so many. You just type it in, whatever you need is there. Like, letting go of anger meditation. Like, it will literally tell you how to release the anger that you have maybe towards a coworker, a family member, that you might need to go talk to, but you don't want to, hurt them. So you need to do the meditation. And so meditation is really important. It also helps to just calm your mind, of course, and it helps to decrease the chances of depression and anxiety and, self-doubt, suicidal thoughts. All of that meditation helps with. And I do believe that God designed us to have the meditation, and like I said before, you have to do what works for you, whether that's taking like a scripture and then you say, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is kind, I'm gonna think of good things today. I'm gonna put aside what this person just said to me. I know that's not true. They must be going through something, so you're constantly talking to yourself and helping yourself get through things. And meditation really, I would say, helps you to think about what you're thinking about, what's going on, and just calming yourself. And sometimes we can be a little scared of meditation.
I'm very scared of it.
Yeah, because you get quiet and you're like.
That's exactly how we look at
You just don't know what to do. So I would recommend doing something like Headspace, Calm app, and you keep doing this until you get good at it, because you're training your brain. You've had years of not meditating. So that means you gotta have, some time, put some time in to make this work, to retrain your brain to know that this is okay. We're just gonna calm down for a little bit. We're gonna chill out, and we're gonna think, of the things of God, and we're just gonna breathe in and out. And there's one good meditation I would say. It's more like a visualization with Lisa Nichols. How many of y'all know her? I love Lisa Nichols too. Yeah, she has a visualization where she basically walks you through you arriving. Like, when I say arrive, I mean like living your dreams, people celebrating you and things like that. So before I leave, I'll make sure y'all get that exact verbiage. But Philippians 4:8, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, we are to think of these things, not the negative things, not the self-doubt, not what people have said to us. We are to think of the things that God wants us to think about. And I will be honest, sometimes it really is hard, and you really need somebody to walk you through this and help you to get all that stuff out, because sometimes we just, if I'm honest, carry a lot of baggage. We just carry baggage of, what so-and-so said about us, and we can't let it go. And sometimes what I tell my clients to do is write a brain dump, basically, where they just write down everything that's been said to them, everything that's hurt them, everything that has caused scars, they write this all down and then they burn it. And we say, we say a little prayer and we say, we're gonna let this go today. And you have to, you gotta keep doing this because, it runs deep sometimes. And so you keep doing this until you feel better. And so that can be also a practice that you have to take care of your mental health. And, like I'll say, get you a minister or a counselor to help you through the process if it becomes hard for you. So just want to kind of talk about the brain here. Complaining physically rewires your brain to be more anxious and depressed. And so if you look at the pictures here, we all have neurotransmitters in our brain which tell us, different things to do and give connections in our brain. And so when we don't have, when we're depressed or anxious, our connections diminish. So we stop thinking about solutions. We stop thinking about good things. We stop, thinking about things that God has done for us. We just stop and we begin to become depressed. So, this is basically the more lights and things like that are more connections. And so this is really one of the more anxious and depressed brains, to the point where you've rewired your brain to be anxious and depressed. So it really is a chemical imbalance when people are going through this or they've allowed themselves to go this far. And so sometimes they use, of course, medication to help someone to build those connections so that they can get back to being, free. And so it really can be a thing where we can rewire our brain to be depressed and anxious if we do not take care of ourselves. So that's just, something to also let you guys know. Again, stressed and depressed. So this is a stressed brain right here. And then this is optimal function, lots of connections and things like that. So just something to think about as we complain and, but we got to catch ourselves. Sometimes we say, okay, Lord, okay, you got me, okay. I'm going to, catch myself. So it's just very important to remember that. And again, just showing you the connections. Stress shrinks brain network. So that's normal connections and this is stress. So you stop thinking about solutions and things like that. So. Yeah, so and then physical, okay. Yeah, so physical basically is taking time every day to basically move. And that could be like 10 minutes a day. That could be taking a walk on your lunch break. And I didn't get to do one for physical. But basically taking time to move. That's what it is, basically. Until you're able to get to that level of working out or get to that level of movement. And I think we, as women, definitely, we beat ourselves up a lot because we'll start and stop. I know I've done that a lot. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week, and then next week I'm sick and I can't work out, and then next week, oh yeah, I forgot. And so it can be a struggle, but I would just say as long as you keep going, that's what's important. That's what's important. And having an accountability partner. I did a challenge probably like 2 weeks ago where I won some money. So that helped me a lot to remember, okay, I need to get out there and start working out and walking in. Sometimes it's cold, so you don't want to get out there and walk, which is okay. So I take my little computer and I put on YouTube or aerobic dance or Zumba. You'll be surprised. YouTube is my best friend. You can find a lot of stuff on YouTube. So, there's really no excuses for us not to take care of ourselves. Right. And so, with the physical piece, just do something, whether you walking or your lunch break, you see those older people walking around the mall, bless their hearts, they are getting it, they power walking through the mall. So, if they can do it, we can do it too, and so really,